Welcome to another nightly update stream here. Our famous open source stuff. What is more open than open source? Even live streaming it on YouTube as per the previous stream. Beside updating Linux here for our T2 Linux stuff, also we started to take a look at VirtualBox that did not just instantly immediately build anymore. I'm pretty sure once upon a time it actually worked inside T2 SDE, but apparently not anymore. So I fixed here one thing. I created here a Zoom link. I wanted here, doesn't check where Mesa is installed, but whatever, just one Zoom link here, maybe fix this later. The next thing is that it wants here some make self, and I was of course like, what the heck is even make self? Can't make this up. This is why hanging out together here, if you want to learn something, ask questions, whatever, and I need to do it anyway. So yeah, make self. I quickly took a look. What, Qt5 not found? Wait a second, I hope it isn't the next error. Was it not make self? Anyway, because compiling Qt would not be amazing on this lesson. Still are, yeah, make self. Why did it? But now it find Qt5. What the heck? Anyway, make self. So what is it even? I did not knew that. Of course, I knew a couple of self-extractable whatever. So apparently some self-extracting archive tool for Unix systems in 100% shell script. And actually I could have checked before. Find make self. Yeah, we don't have this. Actually didn't check this, but as we have a couple of other contributors, I cannot always be sure. Actually, I was sure we don't have it, and we don't have it. So yeah. Open source packaging in 2019, previously configure make install. By the way, I hope this is set to public or something of that sort. Recurring theme here that yeah, need to package all kind of not only Rust and Cargo but also that. And so view on GitHub, let's package this. I quickly checked in the configure script. Hey, for releases, amazing stuff. Over a year ago. Let's just check if we are somewhat live or something. View your channel. I don't really want to package it, but probably archiver, right? svn mkdir make self. I quickly checked the configure, which is handwritten shell script. What else would we make? Doesn't really, let's take this on tower or whatever. Tower disk, I hope, by the way, we have probably audio. Okay, it is listed as live. Also have audio. Anyway. Navarro just commented on the other stream. He just compiled RC8 here. That's live Linux land. Anyway, so that's probably the button I wanted. And so tar make self. I quickly checked the configure script, but it didn't have an option. Usually would like disable or whatever. Why it is not there, I don't know. Because I for sure don't want self-extracting whatever stuff. That is really silly in my opinion. That they need this, they can have this in their own custom deployment stuff, but having that in source code, having release, each package has here the recurring theme of not cool. Make self to, what is it, 240 tar gset or whatever. Oops, no, maybe I would try to patch it away, but I just want to, well, adding a package here isn't the worst thing, because the more packages, the more competitive we look. And is it GPL? I've actually absolutely no idea. License, GPL2, okay. Compress something from a run, many of them run launched as it, okay, fine. Copy here the stuff. Just documenting here, hanging out together and documenting what life it is to keep a document. 77 writes, and we have that sort. Oops, no, don't make this up 70. Side ruler. Here, because it is too long. Then something like here for sure in Emacs. There is some Lisp code for that, but probably I'm pretty sure for VI as well, but whatever. So then let's see how that goes. And in my opinion, this is really ridiculous. Do they have this in? Where would be the authors? Probably here, maybe. Authors, makes-have was written by. So, guess that. Stable, GPL, something, whatever. Let's see. Download, make, solve. And recurring theme is that this is a little bit annoying. Not only Cargo or Manson the recurring viewers might remember this. Make self that each esoteric exceptional build stuff is extra work, needs integration, although this is so far from 5,000 of packages only used by VirtualBox. Actually, darn it, did I really? Can't make this up. Forgot to change the scene. Anyway, you have a podcast. Sorry for that. That is, you have not seen the browser. Anyway, you've seen me also. Probably not too bad. Anyway, can't change it now as it was live. So how is this installed? Mac release, darn it. How to even make installs it? Install software or distributions, usage, make self, something. Does it not have here? It's even VirtualBox. Listed as use, but so I have no idea. It's of course slightly inconvenient that they make self don't even have an installer user man which that is man1. Oops. Yeah, no idea if that is good enough for VirtualBox. I only quickly wanted to check one thing with VirtualBox, and another hour gone with just open Wacom was not found using alternative BIOS sources. Okay, MacServe still not found. Yes, it's also what we need a Horizon for, right? All this serialized configure times, warning, will not run from the what hardening is enabled, which means that the VBox binaries will not run from the binary. Actually, the binaries have to be installed, CID root, and some more prerequisites have to be fulfilled, which is normally done by installing final package. Disable hardening parameter. Yeah, anyway, the fun that this is here. Welcome error hardening. So yeah, warning, whether you configure with or without it, you get some warnings. What CD to compile the kernel. So I wonder if they in the meantime have KVM support. I have the feeling not. Or do they? Test cases, VMM. Save you some KVM run, because ideally I don't even want this. Is why I usually don't use this anyway. So what did it even list there? CD whatever. Where was it even? Source env km npm. Okay, so what a build system. Let's see, of course we get fail, could not display all targets, doesn't exist, something. VirtualBox wasn't found, what the heck. SVN warning, the node, what? Could not display information, all targets, no such file directory, what the heck is even going on here? Here, alternative build systems, you name it. Conf opt. I guess it's now disable hardening. It wants Qt5 now because it's a future. That is also why I didn't find it earlier. Okay, it has this already actually, so the build system didn't change in the last decade or whatever, because it was already that, so let's try that again. Yeah, leave me in the comments below you're a fan of, well, personally I said it before, I'm a huge fan of QEMU, because it was, yeah, the first big open source virtualization thing, and you see what if the stuff is what it doesn't find Qt5. Why would that be? With Qt directory prefix disable. Actually, this is funny. Disable. Okay, disable kmod is actually. But I mean, the funny thing is, I think it found it surprisingly. So basically, also pulls in the meantime. We run this nonsense now. So it's constantly failing here for us. Let's try to comment this out and hope for the best. Yeah, but that is a difference between some commercial pseudo wannabe open source thing and real open source that just works. And I only hope it actually in the meantime has support for KVM as a hypervisor backup thing here, so without any guidance it finds it. So let's see here, enjoy, let's see, I have the feeling it will fail instantly again. Yeah, of course it fails. I mean, what is it even freaking trying to do here? Could not display info, targets doesn't exist. 14 the node, 14 wasn't found, what the heck? They really want people to use it. Glaucus, thank you for asking how are you doing. We are relatively medium, okayish. Video capture should be that one. Let's move it there. How are you doing? Any tips for VirtualBox? The node SVN warning. I mean, okay, this is a warning, so probably it does SVN info. Maybe it wants to actually, do we delete? Maybe our automatics delete. Maybe they have an SVN packed into there and removing. Let's see, less file. Grab SVN in untar text. No, not really many apparently, if that is accurate. And why can people not just use make? So what else does it here? Generating SVN info, version something, config 2992, dynamic config, no such file or directory. You always get new surprises each time you just want to quickly solve. So how did they solve it? Apparently not the only one who has this. Last update your local ports tree. Use flag GCC any. How was it solved? And maybe I try this no cleanup, not sure what it. No source clean something, whatever that variable might have been. Clean, no. Clean source, maybe? So where would even... Oh no, this is something else actually. There is something xfind removing here no CVS and source dir. Maybe. Not using that very often. Remove here, so this is that. Apparently open VirtualBox. Could be that we do remove something that want that makes this fail. So yeah, 2-1. Let's try this one more time. Clean up. American, welcome. Compiling AMD in a few days. Test 8 HCP support. ARM64, sorry. I try compiling. See, that sounds fantastic. So, is there any other news with your Surface experiment, or no? That didn't fix the thing. That was env something. So yeah, it would be really interesting. So did you make any progress? Okay, this also doesn't work if we run it without the T2 sandbox, whatever's going on there. It still says, so maybe this is KMK threads disabled, LD preload. Oh, wait a second. But okay, we have here. Does this preload do something? No. Generating revision. What's even in there? No such file or directory. Maybe I should try set standard, decompress, download, mirror, VirtualBox, tar. Without any T2 involvements, what happens now? Was this hardened? So headless. Disable hardening. What Xlibs? Yeah, X11, X11R7 for sure. Just, oh wait a second, they had both in here, whatever. Do they have here X includes? What the heck? Just want to see, just as proof of concept, if there is anything compiling. What an amazing release. Can't make this up. Recent stable current, something, whatever. Same here. 2019, create, build. Requires lib opus, something. Marks if it looks to be broken. Display function. Please assign yourself and reply to problem gun for me, works for me. 5 to 30, what do we, 601? Somewhat disappointing, and then you wonder that I'm a fan of QEMU. Somehow nothing helps. That is why usually I don't join mailing list and just fix the issues. So no idea what's going on here actually. Of course, as usual, when nothing works, people tune in the most. No such file there. Make file. Clean, so path out clean. Okay, that's not very helpful. Ah, what a mess. I mean, I could just, try to, is this subversion related? Copy here our T2 subversion stuff in here, because why the freak not? Now we have some subversion. Now it should be able to run subversion info. Hey, that does more. Do they ever try to build their release turbo? The wonders of open source releases in 2019. Make self and doesn't build without that. What load do we even put here on? Yeah, unfortunately this is local, so that for sure will not be amazing for probably have not run my activities thing in a while. So where do we put this? It will hide anyway, and okay, maybe there. Actually, it's using all cores, which is not ideal for YouTube encoding, but whatever. So that is parallel 8, unfortunately. So yeah, not really sure what's up with that. Certainly it it's not directly T2 related in that it also doesn't work with running it directly. I think do we right now we even run it directly without the T2 environment. So yeah, VirtualBox compile svn building from Yeah, sorry, I get already YouTube warning. That is no surprise here, given that this is does it like work like that maybe? But that is of course the thing with foreign strange alien. I hope, does it even continue? Hopefully. So how many cores? Maybe this maybe works. Looks like it's not fully loaded anymore. Frame drop, just compute my dude. Yeah. Opinion discarded. That is unfortunately, I could do it on the Ryzen. The only thing is I'm on the Ryzen. I run X-less data center stuff, or like data center like stuff. And that is why the other day I wanted to compile something else. I test compiled something else that already, something like Firefox. Anyway, let's, by the way, CI decrease. So we should have, yeah, this probably should be like J4. Let's see, did YouTube normalize, or, I mean, we have OBS, but the thing is, even though OBS says 0 drop frames, also not making this up here 0 drop frames, and although it's rendering only 19 frames though, but yeah, previous stream on this other channel, I wish I would have a 3950, but I don't. So yeah, the most exotic build errors live on this channel. What is it doing? Compiling static. I slightly wonder if we first of all stabilize YouTube, and also if we run it again, does it pick up we left at state tracker something? Anyway, so how do we fix this? Not yet sure. One thing, because I configured T2 as per the previous live stream for only 4 cores, only has 4 cores, it's Core 7, but 8 threads. So VirtualBox, we maybe want to fix this, grab parallel, and also grab. So we probably have something nice somewhere, not really. Let's just use this, because the issue is VirtualBox, that this stuff is so intelligent to use it directly. So apparently that works. So actually that's J. So that apparently works. So let's better put it there, that people get, if you configure T2 for whatever reason, to whatever threaded parallel, whatever value, then to get it. And by the way, check what is our, let's see where we continue, J something. Let's maybe use only 3 cores to be here, a little bit less. Anyway, so opinion discarded, right, mean you could run change root OS installed on Ryzen for the build. Yeah, the thing is, I have, this is on previous streams, I have here this portable SSD. The cool thing is, because if I would not have it, I would have always some network access, like cloud storage something, and with this portable I've already held it to the camera. Doesn't really, you know how an SSD looks. So the cool thing with this portable SSD, I can plug it into any machine in the office and have all my stuff, or into the ThinkPad, or in a Surface at home on my home desk or wherever, and that is pretty cool. So that is the only thing, that is my most complete like desktop Linux setup. This is why when I'm in the office, but also bloat and mitigation, security mitigations, because I had in the past less issues here with this live stream. I mentioned it before. that I actually previously only optimized for Core 2 Duo, or Core 2 from 15 years ago, because I had the issue with the surface I already optimized for Ivy Bridge or whatever, and then I sometimes plugged my portable SSD in some old MacBook, like black polycarbonate or pre-unibody, or even the Mac Pro of all machines, which has this old-fashioned Xeons. And the issue is then that I get illegal instructions, obviously, and this is why I started to have this portable build only Core 2 optimized, so that it usually basically works everywhere. And it worked quite well, so much to this over-optimization, only to optimize. Actually, there you see, you try to optimize something. I just recently, just 1 or 2, like literally this month, I re-emerged, like built from source with T2, some packages like Mesa and OBS and maybe some multimedia codec. And although this is using hardware encode, by the way, there you see it's offloading this to the Intel GPU, and yet a little bit of CPU load massively degrades the performance, although it's hardware encoding on the GPU. But somehow I have the feeling, I'm not sure why it's now worse. I have the feeling a month ago it was better. So you recompile some stuff with O2 and Ivy Bridge or whatever I use now, and it's worse. So yeah. Also, comments in the audience. What is our CPU load doing? So 3 threads here somewhat. Yeah, of course, even with this 3 set, there you see, don't buy super tiny Nooks or Mac Minis, not amazing performance. Make OBS have a negative nice. Yeah, negative nice only works with root processors, right? I have it not running as root, though. I'm not sure if that probably does not work. I wonder what is this multiple APIs for video API versions of something, funny stuff. But the wonders of binary only software, right? I hope, by the way, audio is fine. I hope there's only some frame drops. Well, right now, well, OBS is indicating me 30 frames and 5 Mbit. Not making this up here. 30 frames, 5 Mbits also, a little bit colorful, so just have to set it as root. Can we renice as? How many processes does it have? Let's try that. So, hey, no, it failed already, so much to that. Pi something, is this, don't tell me this is Python 2 versus 3, where's the error? But let's maybe try this quickly. Let's SU here, and is there renice, or there is renice, PSX, grep OBS, renice, priority -1 OBS, but process ID that, old priority, new priority -1. Okay, let's see how that is going, and let's hope it doesn't lock up our whole Linux kernel. No such file directory. Thank you very much, JNIH. Where is it coming from? User include, not user include, RADM flist FFmpeg. What the freaking freak are you freaking? By the way, we can also knife that. I think that probably should run it. So how much is it recompiling? I hope not everything. Apparently not, maybe everything. You say more, right? You really want to crash this. So if this is, oops, also wrong terminal. AMD server, so that probably means I can shut that down to save some energy, because why not? So, and then You want really minus 12, huh? Okay, so J and I cannot find, okay, there is actually more stuff it can't find because probably, so that would be stuff that T2 is workarounding. How many? So we have 6. The thing is, of course, that this bloody piece of garbage is also thermal throttling, right? So it's not only the magic of Intel CPUs and especially as installed in Mac Minis. Anyway. Yeah, we have survived, but we are right now not. So the thing is, only if previously these priorities were very static, and if some real-time process would use all your CPU, like CD writing back in the day on SCSI stuff 20 years ago, then it could easily kill your whole Unix kernel. But yeah, so okay, yeah, stuff could just build, right? So we have actually 2 errors. I mean, I saw this header not found that might be FFmpeg or something of that sort. And here, this of course is X11. Yeah, it has here this of course is X11R6. I don't have. Super old. I really wonder why some stuff is still using such old-fashioned garbage. T2 would automatically try to work around this. We would not even see this, but right now yeah, this is of course totally not how you're doing it. Normally you do that, configure this paths and not hard code this stuff all over the place, but whatever. Okay. Let's see. This is just proof of concept. I'm mostly interested in, does this even build at all? And well, beside, don't tell me it hopefully doesn't rebuild everything. I mean, some shit. Is this crap really so out? No, it's what installing. Don't tell me this stuff. This is of course sometimes this super over smart makefile stuff that is triggering a rebuild of everything when it's not even necessary. It's a little bit too much in my opinion, but yeah, that would be really. So of course you try to fix something and then you rebuild everything just because of some include header file thing. So it doesn't. Anyway, at least it's a test how this nice priority stuff is going. At least would be something for the future to know. Do we have other stuff to do? Well, I have other stuff to do except some text papers. Well, very theoretically we could, because only otherwise we just wait here now, unless we have something. What did you not know? The SCSI burning stuff hanging the whole Linux kernel in 2003. So by the way, this rebuilding is, they must have specifically coded this. Normally a makefile would not rebuild anything based on some include files, so maybe they've added some additional glue there of dumping the compiler flags into a file and diffing it. So that is what you sometimes would do. Again, in my opinion, a little bit too much. You see, it doesn't have much benefit, right? It's like foolproof, but it only wastes our time now if this really was the reason for maybe potentially rebuilding everything. Let's maybe quickly VirtualBox KVM. I googled this earlier. I didn't quite get kernel virtual machine monitor. I think VMM technical presents a heart of the KVM minimal hyper, so presents a Linux hypervisor interface recognized or later implements currently supports paravirtualized clocks. So if we are super unlucky, this piece of garbage, sorry for that, really needs its own kernel module. This is why this would be really sad, because kernel module, of course, interfacing to the hardware, support SVM, VTD in Intel and AMD CPUs or via Nano. That would be really sad because I'm not even wanting to build a special kernel module. I was hoping in the meantime they have support. Certainly there were some KVM files scrolling by, but maybe that is only para virtualized exporting stuff or something. Let's see. That is also why I'm text compiling it. Sometimes you Google something, you don't really get good answers. And yeah, let's see. So, yeah, but this, so it's apparently rebuilding all the stuff because this graphic API stuff was previously there. Yeah, this is, so app file log provider proxy Genie something look to be FFmpeg. I wonder why we didn't saw this earlier from a rebuild. Let's hope that, I mean, so far, knocking on wood, it looks like this might have been survived. Google is not yet complaining. So yeah. Yeah, that's why we need a 1350. Also usually for other compiles, but yeah. Why is this taking so long? I guess it's probably building some other tree of dependency tree because it errored out earlier, is my guess. Otherwise it should, but there you see the not deterministic of build systems continuing or restarting after an error and building something that when we actually failed. Come on here. Actually, should we go nuts and let's try logging. Let's try 4 again just to see if our renicing of OBS had any nice effect. So where we RT progress, yeah, that's where so chances are it's not rebuilding everything each time. But here in this time, of course, we would have built QEMU multiple times already. That is why I'm a huge fan of keep it stupid simple, and yeah, why I'm usually not using VirtualBox. Especially if this is here to be believed, now this is auto-scrolling, that it built probably multiple graphic API versions there. So let's see how much. Well, of course, this short test is not conclusive here, but it doesn't look too bad, hopefully. So 30 frames per second. Hopefully OBS is more important. QEMU is your friend. How's the audio? I hope the audio looks okay though. Come on. Yeah, I compile here VirtualBox only, except testing and packaging and T2 and everything. For a very specific reason, for something that didn't work as it should have maybe worked in QEMU for this graphic stuff, just to test something for another YouTube video. But in general, it's certainly not too bad. We have already made some progress. It's of course hilarious that VirtualBox error. No SVN. Maybe the build really is slower. Maybe this really helped. Thanks for that. Didn't expect this renice works from root, but that makes somewhat sense. But yeah, 68 something. At least we do not yet get a warning from YouTube. You can do it. How can this take so long? But actually, maybe we built more than before with this X11 R6 fix. What time is it anyway? Probably, as usual, time running fast. Comments on my other Ryzen video on the other channel. A good amount of 8-core chip. Let's go into probably Threadripper. Let's see. EPIC CPUs, they are having EPIC to have larger adoption rate now. Prioritizing server stuff. Yeah, I mentioned this in another video. I mentioned this, probably I should have mentioned this more clearer in the video. We have exiting linking. What is now? Okay, this is exactly what we had. So we probably, so it's of course app file log provider xpcom. I mean, is this some jitting stuff or is it really, actually wait a second, this is Java xpcom. And this is of course hilarious that this header, some Java crap, is the same header name as libav codecs, I guess, maybe, or not, I have no idea. Should we try to zoom link it? And I would edit the makefile, but obviously this stuff, that is actually Java virtual machine crap. Interesting. Let's see if it builds. Don't even want to have any Java garbage in there though. Maybe it's dynamic loading it optionally, maybe if we are totally super lucky. Can't make this up. Hotfix for 0. Yeah, but still compiling. Or was this anyway? Was this also an extension or? Well, at least we did not yet had a new. Maybe in the future I should actually renice to -10 or 12. What's gonna blow up this Genie Java link thing? I don't really have so much time here today, the most anyway. Let's see, do I have? No, that is not the right one. Okay, let's just wait here actually. Anyway, if you have any other comments or compiling globals, UI, custom something, whatever, as long as they're not blocking while waiting for the sound card, we should be good. Yeah, hopefully, although it's Pulse Audio though. Another fun fact is that I tested the other day, I wanted to do speech output. We had back in the day, even a decade ago, just for the fun of it, speech output for this build status, like you would have sent speech output like finished compiling QEMU or whatever. I wanted to resurrect this for this YouTube live streaming, and I figured, as I previously never used Pulse Audio, that if you run this as your normal user, you can't actually connect from root, right? I mean, what bloody sound system is that? You have multi-users like yourself and root or whatever, and then you can't even... So back in the day, 15 years ago, you could have multiple ALSA channels and one desktop audio and one root status output, and yeah, 2019 desktop Linux can't even have simultaneous audio from the root and the regular user. I then thought there is some Pulse Audio -- system, whatever, something. And yeah, with eSpeak, although eSpeak, I think eSpeak doesn't sound the greatest. I was actually considering that there are some web APIs that sound amazing. eSpeak wasn't the most amazing thing. And even consider it to script this with curl, like curl, web API something, and then what to speak, and get the WAV file for much more amazing Hollywood-like speech output, but again didn't work. Then I started the system Pulse Audio stuff as normal user, as root, and then with the result, first of all, if you run Pulse Audio with -- system whatever something, then you get a warning like, yeah, not recommended whatsoever. And I think then I couldn't connect as normal user anymore or something of that sort. I complete unusable nonsense. Let's see. So I mean, at least it looks like it helps here for the available thermal throttling CPU cycles, as you see. And it has not yet blown up, so I mean, this Java API header apparently good enough. And yeah, so far, thanks for that tip. Renice works amazingly, at least something works. Now even with 4, I think we are running. Probably shouldn't. Should we? I mean, very theoretically. But you see already, demask, it's, yeah, although it's back to normal. Let's try 6 just because, why not? Takes already forever. I slightly wonder, so it's compiling, what even is it? It was in the middle of some extensions. What even was the install? Was it? Nah. Yeah, let's totally, by the way, does it even, yeah, this is bloody. By the way, I reverted this. I said this already. I don't like that I can't run as normal users. So right now we are even temperatures back to normal. So much to Mac Mini can get its cooling together also. Well, 30 FPS. Anyway, come on, come on. Qt, mock UI, something. Yeah. So let's see more comments from Opinions Guarded. So tweet at Tux loves you and makes a bash script for this. Tux loves you? Seriously? What do you mean? That's how I used to play Minecraft with Pentium 4 with Arena. Is interesting. So yeah, can this finally eventually... Yeah, but now we sit through this here, to be honest. Although this Renice tip worked pretty well. So YouTube says it's still healthy. How choppy is it? I mean, OBS says 30 FPS. Yeah, the thing is, I sometimes when I know we compile something large like Firefox, Rust, Cargo, I take the Ryzen compute node out there from the shelves and place it here, but I don't want to always plug it in and out again, especially as we have scanners and other stuff here. Then the more all the Octane and PS3 and stuff, and the more I see it already, one day we moving stuff around, we drop the Octane or PS3 or whatever. But yeah, of course, truth to be told, in this time you can compile QEMU for all its target architectures from ARM, because it's QEMU, the compile time of QEMU is only longer or as long because it's rebuilding itself like 15 times or so for all the ARM MIPS, PowerPC, you name it. What is now the build error? Footer pass to compiling. What the heck is going on here? And it's Java. Yeah, wonderful. I don't really want this. I wonder if we can disable some extensions here. Java build setup wine. I mean, why the heck should it set up wine? It's hilarious. Disable Java. Probably we should have done this to start with, huh? Does it also have some... Don't abort on errors? What the heck? Web services? Can't make this up. So the sad thing is it most likely will rebuild everything. So this Qt we don't really need right now. Disable Java, probably one pulls out here, and okay, we can leave it here for documentation's sake. What is probably maybe, so the sad thing is that this most likely will compile forever again. I wonder, actually, does it have wine? I think I probably don't have wine here though. Would not be surprised if it rebuilds everything. But probably that should eventually be the end, huh? Java, what is here? Java version, have flex Python. Another thing that is certainly not amazing, except this recompiling everything here, is, yeah, that really gets slightly too long. That what did I want to say? Java, Python, what did I just notice? Pulse audio. All right, Wacom, this open Wacom that in all the decade, why have they not in the meantime rewritten their BIOS stuff not to use open Wacom compiler? Also somewhat vintage there. Not how I've done it. Anyway, I guess that concludes that, yeah, just keeping all this package stuff to compile is somewhat involving. We learned Renice that, let's see, not yet a new warning. Stream is healthy. Excellent. So at least we learned something for our live streaming for the future. Certainly not the worst idea. Probably should also move that over a little bit. So I could leave this running just for the fun of it. Maybe we do we can actually try this. Let's change to this scene. And let's wait a minute. People can later fast forward and let's see if this finally results in something usable. So where are we? Cleaned the coffee machine, packed my things. Thoughts on GNU Make versus Ninja versus CMake? For me, Make is fine. Good question. Probably from what you would expect from the previous videos I made. A huge fan of just Make. My exact image or other projects for myself just use Make. Works beautifully, works everywhere. Even all the configure tests, mostly useless, like size of int charts, like nonsense. You can just, I don't see any single point to check this in configure when you can just do it in any C file. Just put in your header using stuff, size of int char, whatever. Totally see no point. I don't have such checks, so yeah, totally agree with the decade-old opinion of like port GNU Make somewhere and just use that. At least works fine for me. And also other large stuff recently here on this channel, FPGA stuff, Yosis, other big stuff, I think Yosis or ABC. Was it ABC? I think it was ABC. So yeah, not a fan of this modern build systems that try to reinvent the wheel and only cause more problems. So documentation release. I just wanted to build instructions here. Something. Let's maybe check what is the Linux host. What is the recommended way? Yeah, dependencies a lot. I hope we, by the way, did I apparently mostly install, apt-get install, whatever, something, special tweaks. Yeah, thank you very much for linking bullshit, yeah, whatever. Building, so configure, have they even disable hardening because now source all build type debug. And how does it install or actually make install or running your build? You can run VirtualBox directly from your build directory. If the build was not hardened, but first of all you must build and install VirtualBox kernel module whose sources will be otherwise. So I have the feeling already it will not even work without this bloody kernel module, of which I'm not a fan either. GNU guys loves autoconf, but I haven't learned it well yet. It's on my list. Yeah, probably. Honestly, you are not missing much. Probably your time would be better spent with doing nearly anything else. The problem with this GNU Auto stuff, it's a pain and stuff. I somewhat understand why people invent Cargo and CMake and stuff, although CMake and stuff also super complicated, right? So instead of using M4 macro preprocessor stuff, we switch that with custom domain-specific CMake language stuff, so not really progress, in my opinion. What I do is exact image. This is the wrong one. Let's also, by the way, with all the compilation, we probably, so yeah, thanks for that. This priority stuff apparently helped. This are really nice. So for YouTube large. So what I've done, maybe you want to study exact image, which is medium modern. It's not the super topmost modern. It's also near only. Even criticizing my own source. It's also in the meantime over a decade old and we have also other things to do. Anyway, the cool thing is our makefile, so that is custom makefile stuff. It's just normal makefile and relatively readable. Some non-recursive make and some configure script. In my opinion, this is all one needs. This is custom written configure similar to similar to virtual machine and other stuff. And oops, sorry, no, I moved this main window. That was super not clever from myself, but yeah, mostly. Anyway, in my opinion, if you don't overdo it with crazy nonsense, like as in VirtualBox, this is not only readable but more than enough. And makefile wise, yeah, maybe exact image open source there in our if you want to see relatively somewhat minimalistic configure and Macfile stuff. So yeah, this stuff is still building. VBox Global, thank you very much. Opinion discarded, loves writing bash scripts, but haven't learned M4 as well. Found your page, yeah, it's just subversion, exact code / exact image. All the others, we have some other small example stuff and such. They all also use the same Macfile setup. And yeah, I agree that writing shell script is pretty portable. That is why, and readable for administration and everyone. That is why we also do this here in T2, or what Clifford Wolf and with Rock Linux, where I've contributed for many years, decades ago. And this is why I like this readability of our sources. And found your page. It's just here subversion here and T2 and exact image. Exact audio is a little bit, this is a previous GSMP source. The sources for this are an exact build and other stuff like probably, yeah, we don't have the most major stuff here, but anyway. Exact image is using it. I'm not really sure if I ported exact audio. Maybe I started to port exact audio, which now which previously was GSMP, but that is not usable. If you want to take a look, here's our old GSMP code base here, what we have done 20 years ago for Studio. And this should be is M4. This is one. If you want something small, although this is 20 years old, not sure if it. Also, maybe I fixed it up. Maybe this auto configures in this day and age anyway. But I agree, this M4 stuff is not the most amazing, a little bit cryptic and hard to read. This is why our new stuff is just using our own shell script system stuff. Release object, what did it build there? Test VBox something LD. Anyway, can you paste link to the UI bar is cut off? Oh, sorry. Exact image would be this one, and the other things are there too. Also, HTTPS available. Yep. So where are we? UI toolbar again. Maybe I commit this already. I'm not really sure. What did the build instructions say? Yeah, I don't really. Can also wait a second. You know what? I could probably delete the first one. Did we delete this or? Doesn't. Did it? Not sure. Anyway, maybe. Yeah, but thanks for the really nice tip. At least that worked, and the other stuff. So yeah, also large sources, Rust, Firefox, and why I want for such kind of stuff something more modern and not a Mac Mini. General, not actually. It's not too hot. Why is it? It's not even too hot. That is funny. The cores are pretty loaded. Is it somehow thermal design throttling? Strange stuff. Anyway, I hope you learned something. Not really sure if it's worth to wait here slightly longer for the results here, but at least we have actually 2.9 drop frames. No, we have some drop frames. What was install saying? Was it saying make install? Which also wrong thing. Anyway, let's maybe we didn't head in. No, we only had KMK J something. Not really sure if that will install something. How can this take so long? Yeah, but also load stuff takes longer to compile. I could actually, you know what, I pack my other things there in the main disk. See you in a second when, well, second. Fast forward to when we reappear. And we have a new arrow. Yay. What failed? No, I cannot find. Darn it, don't tell me. You know what? I don't want to rebuild all this bloody freaking stuff. I think I simply link user x11 r7 to user x11 r6. Old-fashioned garbage. You know what, let's use all threads. I'm not really sure of what happened, but let's see. Let's hope it doesn't rebuild everything. What is now? Cannot find. Does it change directory or does it run this? How long is the command? Looks like it might work. Can it work? User x11 lib64. Let's correct this manually. Let's hope that this works. Maybe. What is it doing now? Compiling runtime stuff. Let's. Is this stuff we built already or not? Yeah, just a recurring documentation of why I'm not the most amazed by this kind of modern packages build stuff. Also, why do we have frame drop now? Or is it what we had 2071, something of that sort anyway? Yeah, of course, the more, what is it even, runtime POSIX? What is it even, thread POSIX, timer POSIX? It's pre-compiling some header here or what? Compiling something GCH. Somehow I see some stuttering there. Anyway, the recurring theme of that software gets too large. And yeah, of course, if you have the latest and greatest epic Ryzen i9, whatever, you might not notice it too much, which, yes, usually I built on other machines. Also, somehow this video is really not the most smooth anymore in my preview. Anyway, I'm wondering if this really is. Welcome, Christian. Finally, some more people. Build system, wait until you see the Yocto build system. Does it mean it's not good? So that is when people ask me, have you tried this, have you tried that? The other video, I made a video with this, why I don't find this Gentoo stuff too amazing. Where people still get triggered from. And Gentoo, as I said in this video, it's just not only the patches they have outside of the source tree, not versioned, which is not amazing. And then they also have, there's an error, cannot find something again. Why would it not, does it not use libx11 or maybe we user? Tell me more about Yocto. I'm huge and horrible. That sounds interesting. So here is X11R6. So normally I don't do it like this. I just want to have here some progress eventually. Let's try to link here this lib to that lib and hope for the best. See what happens, otherwise we copy and paste all of those manually. Bitbake, I think, horrible, and it uses Bitbake. Is Bitbake not open embedded? Or is Yocto the successor of open embedded? Oh, here. We should. So what's happening now? API wrap, don't tell me this piece of garbage is rebuilding everything. Don't tell me that is the beginning of the build. Just creating here one link. I hope it doesn't check some here, some include directory. After, so comes the audience gonna crack open a beer and enjoy the evening. That is amazing and certainly well deserved. Thanks for hanging out with us. The beer I could now use myself. I wonder, is that, don't tell me that is rebuilding everything. That would be guest impulse source client. Let's take a look at the log file. Or do we not have virtual? No, we don't. Don't tell me it wants to rebuild everything. I mean, this is, I already create here symlinks in my file system to avoid rebuilding all this. Building programs, libraries, runtime, parse DLLs, generating API wrap, linking VBox runtime. But I mean, if this runtime R0, maybe we are lucky and this, how can this take so long, seriously? Opinion is coded might just have gotten really bad. Yocto, Bitbake, open embedded recipe. So, no idea. The only idea I have that this is really too large. I only wanted to test one small thing, and you spent here an hour staring at the build stuff. Yeah. What are you waiting for? Then go get one. Yeah, don't have any in the office. The coffee machine I just cleaned already, and the only thing I could offer except new coffee would be this Club Mate stuff from the other previous live streams. Let's suspend this shortly. Let's scroll back a little bit. So where have we built previously? Just checking if global Hocon. But you know, this is also not, what is here? Test VBox driver source. Can't make this up. This is hilarious. XPcom. What do they need all this stuff for? It is also not security isolation anymore. If this stuff is so large that this is not was a total trusted code base isolation here when the stuff is larger than the stuff you want to isolate. It's here, it's really sad that this takes here so long. I wish it wouldn't. But this I've seen already previously, a long time ago. Now we have some more drop frames. Anyway, Open embedded isn't, Christian asks, isn't it from old handheld PC, Pocket PC days? Now it's doing, I mean, it's basically using everything here, right? Now it's doing cabled stuff here. Hey, do we get there, or is it now out, release something, installing, release something out Linux, what failed now? Validate manual run, I mean, seriously. It fails validating the manual, are you freaking kidding me? Validating. This is the last thing I want. It's hilarious, you can't make this up. They really have thrown everything together they could find somewhere. I wish I could just skip this stupid manual validation crap. That is really hilarious. Or if we are lucky, it doesn't do it a second try. Linking more tests. Hey, linking Reebok something. What is now? Failed to load external. Still trying to validate this garbage. Just touch it or some. Validating. Come on. If I want this, I mean, why do they really need to have this in the call? Validating, build time, validating, message, manual. So what kind of file is it? Validating, call, append, done, validate, define, def, validate something, validating something automatically, build time, excellent with cut. What is it using? So this run, so to make this run thing, so maybe touching this run is enough to, maybe, let's see. So here, comments in the audience, Open Embedded, isn't it from the good old days? They also tried to use it on OpenMoko as a Neon 1973 something. PDF tries to run PDF LaTeX. Like seriously, why does it need to do all the garbage for stuff we don't want? Let's just touch it and hope that it goes away. Other people use it. I guess people use it for Open Embedded. Hey, VR, probably VirtualBox. Yay! Installing VirtualBox to here. So the only thing is, I wonder, does it have some make install target, or installing to no? It installs it here. This is hilarious. Why would it do that? So this package definitely needs to have some more work. Virtual. Where is this now? Debug bin. Oh, release. This is. And then when you wonder why I don't have respect for some. Here's objects. Here's bin. For some packages, when I just don't use it because I looked at the source and nah, it's not like no thank you, not really. So this thing is host network virtual machine. I wonder even preferences. It was quite some effort for not much, right? Display or monitors, language, virtual machine, general. Test type. And where would be the CD-ROM? Storage. Cannot access kernel driver. Okay, so that is set that it needs a kernel driver. Apparently, just what with Google it was a little bit inconclusive, but I really wonder also why they have not changed that in the meantime to optionally use KVM. Even other major open virtual machine stuff supports KVM dtrace extension pack. So this is really set. It's funny that this is animation here. That's funny animation, but do they have support general something? In other cases, animation is a little bit lame, to be honest. How to even, or double click, how to display. How to configure this, except not at all. Somehow this UI is also not the super most. Here maybe, is this? Now it's adding this. Okay, so this is apparently just an overview that you can't edit directly. That is of course also slightly lame in my opinion. Here's advanced. Does it have anywhere? Type system, okay, processor, EFI, here's acceleration. Here's KV para, so legacy minimal. So para virtualization interface, does this do something? Cannot access kernel driver. What does this do then? It has disk encryption, wonderful. So yeah, if this is acceleration, you would think it's using KVM, but no. Strange stuff. Valid settings detected. What is USB 2 is currently enabled in a virtual machine. However, this requires the Oracle VM VirtualBox extension pack installed. Please install the extension pack. So it wants this VBox config. Let's see if this KVM does something. If we copy VBox config, no VBox config. Okay, it is somewhat, well, we compiled it, we established that it needs some stupid make self, right? Needed esoteric packages, doesn't even compile nicely, configure nicely. So what does it, so VBox config, by executing. If you may need to sign kernel modules, documentation more. Okay, that is disappointing because I don't even want to run this kernel driver on my machine because I need a stable machine. It is somewhat, I would hope in the meantime, it is slightly more amazing, but somehow it is as disappointing as it was a decade ago. Lol, LaTeX, yeah, whatever, also doesn't really need to build you all the documentation. Anyway, so it's also not installing nicely. I slightly wonder, do they have any documentation of building, coding, config, version, install? No. Because it's also not installing nicely. Yeah, that is somewhat disappointing. I mean, we made here some progress. We established it's as bad as we remembered. I only wanted to use it for something, for very one specific thing, and even that is, yeah. So we updated this a little bit. Most regular ones prefix at all are not supported, you know, shit Sherlock, and yeah, updated this a little bit, but also, yeah, actually it doesn't even, I mean, this is also really strange that it doesn't even start to build for me without a subversion repository in there. That is also hilarious. Can't make this up. Commit VirtualBox. Yeah, it's not amazing. Updated VirtualBox conf a bit, but it is still not amazing. Whatever. But it, anyway, doesn't matter. Already too many efforts for this stuff. Apparently, TextLive isn't everyone's favorite anymore. New ending never automatically gets a correct version of something. What else do we have there? Open embedded something, but anyway, I hope all this long random stuff helped someone. Hope you learned something. The next streams will be way more interesting, but this is when you say, yeah, let's do some stuff, and then that's the outcome. Anyway, amazing that some people watched it, especially as this channel needs more subscribers and more views to make the most use of this additional more random live stuff. So it would be amazing if you subscribe and tune in for more amazing stuff to come. And have a good night or day. Bonjour, bonsoir, and I hope to see you soon for the next videos and more amazing stuff to come.